How you doing? I just wanted to take a quick little look at this, so I thought I'd pop the camera on here and just talk about this for a moment. But I'm just kind of going over the question of what really is love. What really is love? Do we think that we really know what love is? Do you think you really know what love is? Do I really know what love is? Well, I kind of have an idea, so I thought I'd share it with you here. But just think about relationships. We'll just talk about relationships and kind of keep it simple. And usually what we find here is that there's a certain energy or a certain form of love that we call love in that relationship, right? That I guess the world in general seems to say, well, that's love, right? Now, the way I see it is what they're saying love is when when one person supports the failing of the other, they call that love, right? Because you're in a relationship, right? See if you can go along with what I'm saying here. You're in a relationship, but the relationship from both people is really based in selfish reasons. Yes, there might be things that we do that aren't selfish, but the bottom line is it's to get my own needs met at the end of the day. And right in this relationship, the people are usually supporting each other in that ego that makes us believe that, in our doubt, in our self-doubt, in our loyalty to another idol, to another form, that we're okay. So that's the love of the world in the relationship, is that we support that fallen thing, that wrong nature in the other person, to make them feel like they're okay and that they're not in a place of doubt. Right? Isn't that though what we really call love? Because, it's that attachment. It's that energy, that excitement, that excitement that is around the whole nature of falling and failing and doubting and, giving worship over to the other person and, the whole kind of energy that's involved in that. And the excitement of failing, and of really the man becoming weaker and the woman seducing and all of that. But we support each other in that nature, in that state, to kind of keep the blinders over each other's eyes, and we call that love, right? Because if we were ever to see the truth, we would have to wake up, we would have to take responsibility. We would have to, give up those things that are keeping us in that place of self-doubt. So I don't think most of us really want to know what love really is. Because in all actuality, love is, if it's an unselfishness, kind of like that death to yourself. It's that is love. When you don't expect to get anything from anybody else, and you're not putting any kind of pressure on the situation to try to get anything out of it from the other person, that's what love is. You see, love is also getting back to gaining your own power and taking your own power back and becoming powerful in yourself. Finding that strength within you. That's a part of love, right? And a lot of times when one of the people in the relationship begins to do that, the other person gets afraid. And the other person will begin to do things, will begin to confuse, confound, right? To try to, and judge, to try to bring the person back under that confusion, under that self-doubt, to keep each other in the game, to keep each other in the place where your egos get fed and you both feel satisfied by pleasure and emotion and judgment and all the things that we create that are apart from God. But when you really begin to come back into your power, when you really begin to come back into your strength, then you can really love the other person. But that love is not the love that's the sensual love. Yes, there can be aspects of it where you can still stay conscious and you can still act in that way, but you can't be overtaken by it, and that's what I'm saying. So the love that people have been sort of brainwashed to believe, and when you're caught in a relationship like that and you become addicted to relationships like that, you won't see somebody else in their power and strength and taking responsibility for themselves as being love. You'll be scared of that. You'll want to run away from that because that's a death to yourself. That's the end of you acting out of your egoic nature. And you being unselfish. You being, I'm sorry, not unselfish, but you being selfish. You see? Because usually, like the man, for example, when he begins to become more powerful and starts to say no to the woman, to say no to her seduction and temptation and all of these things that may be going on, that's when she says, "Oh, you don't love me anymore." Oh, and she begins to act out and do all kinds of things to confuse and upset the man and bring him back into that place where he's confused and she has power, right? And that's how women tend to dominate men in relationships, by confusing and confounding and keeping them in a place where they can be controlled and all of this. But this is just the game. And that's not who we really are. That's not who the woman really is. That's not what a woman really is. That's just that fallen spirit, that kind of evil spirit that operates through, it's operated through from the beginning of Adam and Eve. But that's what we got to put a death to. So, do we really know what love really is? Do we really think that we do? Because I think that most people that are still in these kind of relationships and still operating from a selfish nature, I think, if you're watching this right now, I just want to say, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to look at your partner, and you maybe already have kind of began to see this, but you're going to see that they've been lying to you. You're going to wake up and you're going to think, man, they've been lying to me. But the truth is, you wanted to be lied to. You wanted to be lied to make believe what you had was actually love, when it was nothing but doubt. It was nothing but self-doubt. But you wanted to be lied to. You wanted to be comforted so that you could be kept in that place, so that you could get your own pleasures, so that you could be selfish. And I'm just saying that that's the actual truth. And when you really see that, then at least for you men out there, I can say you're becoming more of a man. You're becoming more of a man, and you're working your way towards godhood. And the same thing for women. When women begin to see what they're actually doing to the man in the relationship, and when you become that comforter, when you become like the man's God and you give him that comfort that he needs, and you begin to see that what you're actually doing, and you stop doing that because you see that's making him weaker, and you actually allow each other to gain your power back, to gain that inner peace, to gain that inner strength that comes from looking within. When you allow space for each one to do that and to become powerful in their own without having selfishness and without wanting to confuse each other and bring each other back under judgment and bring each other back under this false love, this love of the world, that's when you're moving towards God. All right. God bless you. Have you a great day.